Shalom, shalom. Kal halalam Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, and all the teachers of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the elect men who's pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth. To you, I say shalom. The title of this lesson is going to be called, If Adversity Come Upon Thee, Thou Shalt Find Him There First. And when we say thou shalt find him there first, who are we speaking about? Right? We're speaking about Esau, Edom. And we're not talking about like just right now. We're talking about centuries ago. We're talking about ages ago, right? And even today still, right? If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Not necessarily him himself, but his policies, his laws. Just look at the world right now as we're living in and tell me what you see. Let's go to Iraq. What happened in Iraq with Saddam, and that's just recent. Weapons of mass destruction. Iraq hasn't been the same since. Did they find any weapons of mass destruction? No, they didn't. Let's look at Libya. What happened? They claim Gaddafi was treating his people bad. Like they claim Gaddafi was doing wrong to his people. But was that the case? That was not the case. The reason why they took Gaddafi out is because he wanted to create a one Africa alliance. He wanted to unite all of Africa together, use one African currency. But they didn't want that, so they had to take him out. Did anybody go to jail for that? No. Is Libya the same since then? No. The people of Libya are going through turmoil right now. Why? Because of this man. Right? Let's look at Venezuela. What's going on in Venezuela? I don't even have to break it down for you. Look at Cuba. How long has Cuba been the way it's been? It's not just communism, why Cuba is the way it is. It's the sanctions. It's the blockade from the Babylonians, the Americans. Right? Let's take a look at Jamaica. Back in the day, the Jamaican currency was 1-to-1 with the US dollar. But what happened? Corruption. How did this corruption happen? The so-called Americans bought out the politicians in Jamaica. Look at what Edward Seaga did. Edward Seaga was working with the CIA. Right? Who is the CIA? The CIA is Central Intelligence Agency. Who's that? Those people are Americans. Look at France. Look at what's going on in France right now. Look at America. Look at their own people. It says, if adversity come upon thee, just know he has been there first. Has the Black Americans who are living in America have had any peace since they came to America? No. Why? Because that man has been there first. Look at Australia. Look at New Zealand. Look at what they did to the Native Americans of those lands. The Native Americans in Canada, the Native Americans in America. Look at what they did to them. They came amongst them, right? Let me read the precept real quick. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. I just mentioned that to you. Let's continue. It says, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. How did they get the land of America? How did they get the land of New Zealand, Australia? How did they get the land of South Africa? How? They pretended to help the Native Americans and then proceeded to wipe them out. Wickedness, man. But why? Why would they do that? They took. Let me continue here. Let me continue here. All right. Now, the verse, the precept I just read to you is Ecclesiasticus 12:17, also known as Sirach 12:17. This is pretty much warning you, letting you know that when you're in a land, wherever you are, and if adversity come upon you, just know that that man has been there first. Though he pretend to help you, yet he will undermine you. So he's going to pretty much try to trick you into giving you what you to giving into him, to trust in him, and then he's going to stab you in the back. That's just who this man is. All right. Now I want to grab Psalms 55:21. So this is Psalms 55:21. It reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. That's another reason this man has, another way this man has gone around the world to deceive many, to take their land, you know, because his words were smoother than butter. So people trust him because his words were smoother than butter. But when you got the men on the highways and the byways teaching the gospel, trying to bring the children of Israel back into the good graces of Yahweh, people say that they're aggressive. We're aggressive. We speak too loud. We use profanity. But the message is clear. The message is that we are there to deliver a message to you, and the message is to help you. We're not trying to deceive you. We're giving you the truth, straight and direct from the Holy Scriptures, right? The Scriptures says, let me see if I can get that. Yeah, this is it. KJV. I want to get it in the KJV. This is Isaiah 58 and 1. Actually, let me get it in my phone. Salakia. Isaiah 58 and 1. It reads, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. So we are bringing a message to you. We are showing you how you're going off. We are showing you the sins that you are committing. We are trying to show you, come out of those sinful ways, come into the good grace of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We might not be speaking it smoothly or gently, but we're letting you know your sins. We're actually telling you what you're supposed to do to come back to the good grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. But because we're doing it in an aggressive manner, you hate us. You despise us. I mean, if fire was burning in your house and we come to you and we're shouting and screaming using what you call profanity, telling you, warning you to get out because a fire is coming because we want to save your life, would you listen? Or would you be like, nah, I'm not listening to you because you're being too aggressive, you're using profanity, so I'm going to stay right here? Are you stupid? This is the same message that we're giving you right now. It's the same things that we're doing as we speak. We are warning you, letting you know that a fire is coming, that judgment is coming, that death is coming. We're telling you that the grim reaper is coming. But you don't want to hear. You don't want to listen. You're cursing us, saying we are being too aggressive. We're using profanity. No, we're giving you a message pursuant to Isaiah 58 and 1. The Most High tell us to cry aloud and do what? And spare not. Lift up your voice, meaning shout. Right? Lift up your voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. This message is for the house of Jacob, the Israelites, not for everybody. It's for you. So when you see us on the highways and the byways shouting, screaming, telling you to get out of this wicked society, this wicked kingdom, and come to the good grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, don't be mad at us. Don't get upset with us. We're just delivering a message to you, right? But let me continue here. This is Proverbs. Damn. Salakia. Yeah, Salakia about that. This is Proverbs 26, 24 to 26. It says, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fear, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. I'm going to read that again, but before I read that, let's go back to Psalms 55 and 21. Listen what this says. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So the Most High is warning you that he's going to come speaking smooth things. He's going to come speaking so you can trust him. It says, but war was in his heart. You can't see his heart, but you can hear the words that are coming out of his mouth. It says his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? Now, when you go down to Proverbs 26 and 24, it says, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips, right? And layeth up deceit within him. So within himself, within his heart, he has deceit. He has devised wickedness, right? It says, when he speaketh fear, so when he speaketh with a what? When he speaketh fear, meaning when his words are smoother than butter, when his words were softer than oil, right? I'm going to go back here. It says, when he speaketh fear, believe him not, right? For there are 7 abominations in his heart. So the Most High is warning you, when you hear him speak and his words are smoother than butter, right? Don't believe him. Don't trust him. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Right? And this person, this man, this Edomite, Esau Edom, is a very deceptive person. He hides the hatred that he has within his heart with his words. That's what he does. This hatred that Esau Edom has for you Israelites, it's hidden behind smooth words. I mean, at least this guy DJ Trump is not hiding how he feels about you. He's letting you know through his actions how he feels about you. He's letting you know he doesn't like you by his policies. It's clear. He sent for a bunch of so-called white people from Africa, give them refugee status in America, speaking about their being killed and murdered over there. But is that true? Is that true? Out of the they said it was about 36. They said 36 farmers. I'm going to say it loud. 36 farmers died in South Africa on farmlands last year. Do you know how much was white people? 7. 7 white farmers died on farmlands in Africa last year. But how many were black? Let's do the math. If 36 died last year, 7 were white, how many were black? So this man's policy is clearly a hatred. It's clear that he has a hatred for you so-called black people. It's obvious. You Latinos, that's obvious. Right? Let's continue. Actually, let me grab that. So this is Proverbs 26:24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fear, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. So the hatred that this man has, I'm speaking about you Edomites, the so-called white people, the hatred that you have, you cover it with deceit. You make it look like you like us, but you don't. In fact, you have a perpetual hatred for the so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. We notice that you have a specific hatred for us, right? It says, whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And right now, what do we see? What do we see right now? We see, let me grab that. What's that precept? How are the secret things of Esau searched out? Here we go. So this is Obadiah 1 and 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up. Now, let me go back to that precept. Remember, how are the secret things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Let's go back here. It says here, whose hatred is covered by deceit, in his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. So the entire world is going to see his wickedness. And now, as we speak, do you see his wickedness? Because now, through the Holy Scriptures, you can see who the wicked is. You can see who Esau Edom is, based on biblical prophecy, based on the Holy Scriptures, right? The entire world know who this wicked man is. Amalek, which is you so-called tight hatters in the the region over there, doing what you're doing to the people in the land of Canaan, right? We see you. The world sees you. We know who's your defense, who's backing you, who's standing behind you, promoting, right? What you're doing, pushing you to do it even further. You so-called Americans, the Babylonians, you so-called white people, right? The French, the British, right? We see it. The entire world sees who the wicked is now, right? Let me read verse 27. It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. So whatever trap you're trying to set for people, the children of Israel, you yourself are going to fall in it, right? You yourself are going to fall in it. It says, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. So whatever you're planning is going to come back on you 7 times, right? 7 times. Whatever you're planning, whatever G-side you're planning against the children of Israel, whatever method you're trying to use to get them off of the street is going to come back and haunt you. Verse 28, a lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattered mouth worketh ruin. All right, now let me continue over here. Now this is Psalms 41 and verse 9. It says, yea, mine own familiar friend in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, hath lifted up his heel against me. So even though I'm speaking about this Edomite, right? It says in Sirach 12 and 17. Let me grab that. It says here in Sirach 12 and 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. I keep going back to this because this is where I'm prefacing this lesson, right? And the reason why I've gone back here is because of Psalms 41 and 9. It says, yea, mine own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, hath lifted up his heel against me. So even though, let's take a look at Abraham Traore, the guy from Burkina Faso. We know the West is trying to take him out, the French, the British, and you so-called Babylonians, Americans, you want to take this man out. But you can't get close to him. So because you can't get close to him, what did you do? You hire his friends, his family, people who are close to him to go up against him, right? And as we are in today's day, we see what we have going on. Our own people who look like us come around us trying to defy us, right? Because they look like us, they talk like us, they pretend to be us. You use them against us. It says, yea, mine own familiar friends. So the people who we are familiar with, or whom I trusted them, because we are familiar with them, because they look like us, we trust them to some extent. Which did eat of my own bread, meaning which share the same meal, right? That we eat from, right? Hath lifted up his heel against me. So because we trusted them, we brought them so close to us, they now have lifted up weapons against us. They come against us. Why? Why? So even someone that's close to you, they are the ones who's going to betray you. The people who look like you, the people who talk like you, the people who are in this ministry. We see it with that so-called that camp leader from, I think, DC, somewhere around there. How he turned on the Israelites, right? Oh, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite anymore. Da 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 da. So there's a warning in the Holy Scriptures, warning you against trusting people, right? Careful who you trust. Careful who you bring around you. Vet them first, right? Verse Jeremiah 9 and 4, it says, take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. So we see this happen within the ministry, within the Israelite ministry. So it's this doesn't go just for Esau, Edom. It goes for the people who are close to you, the people who you are surrounded by. You got to watch them. You got to be careful, right? You got to vet them properly. And it doesn't take 1 day, 2 day, a month, 2 months. It take years sometimes. Right? It took me 4 years, 3-4 years to cross the line. Why? Because I had to be vetted first. Right? So be on guard. Protect the ministry. Protect yourselves from the deceptive ones, the ones who look like you. And a lot of people who look like you are not Israelites. It says not all Israel is of. Let me see if I can grab that. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Romans 9:7. Start at 6. It says, not as though the word of God hath any none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So even though some of them might look like you, they might act like you, they might talk like you, they might have certain talents that make you think that they're Israelites. Some of them are not. Some of them are Hamites. Some of them are Edomites. So be careful who you bring around you. Right? Now, this is my final precept, Ecclesiasticus, which is Sirach 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. I just mentioned that. Prove him first. And be not hasty to credit him. Right? So don't just trust people too quickly who come around you. Test them first. Test the spirit. If they speak not let me grab that. This is Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So like I said, don't trust these people too quickly. If they speak not according to this word, there's no light in them, meaning the spirit of Yahushua does not dwell in them. Separate yourself from them. Test them to see if they're true. Test them to see if they have any type of character. Right? Test them in hard times. Test them when you're in need. Test them to see if they're going to camp, if they're doing lessons. Test them to see if they're speaking the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That is it. That is it. Right? It said Obadiah 1 and 6. It says, how are the things? Come on. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? Remember, Esau Edom is not only a white man. Esau Edom could be black. He could be Native American. He could be Latino. Right? But how are you going to search them out? You're going to search them out through the scriptures, through the precepts. You're going to take the precepts. You're going to learn them, who they are, through the precepts. That's how you're going to know. And then what you're going to find out? You're going to find out that they have a perpetual hatred against you. From when? From day one. Right? Let me get that. Real quick. I know I said that. That's my last one. Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So this is pretty much showing you that there's a perpetual hatred between Israel and the Edomites. The Edomites have a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel. And like I said, Edom, the so-called white man, does not come as white all the time. There are dark-skinned Edomites. There are Native American and Latino Israelites. Right? So don't be fooled by skin color. Right? Don't let them trick you. Bob Marley said, don't let them fool you. Oh no. They're not going to fool us, man. Right? Why won't they fool us? Because of Isaiah 8 and 20, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So if you don't speak like how we speak, we're not trust you. Right? And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and all the elders of Great Stone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the elect man who's pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.